Welcome to Navigate number 6, Integrate. Every leader stops somewhere. They just stop growing. And when they stop growing, they can't give out of who they are to others with a sense of freshness. Instead, their leadership has a stale quality to it. What I'm going to show you now in this lesson, it's so powerful, it will keep you at the edge of freshness. You can't give what you don't have. This will keep you in a place that you're continually getting new growth that you can then give to others out of that. And it's a surprising way that it develops within us. Here's the idea. We've learned that we're in the journey of self-leadership. And as we're in the journey of self-leadership, the windshield, we see it and we go, oh, I'm more than my thoughts, feelings, and desires. The antenna tells us we don't have to prove or hide. Our insecurities that are driving us aren't really who we are. We start to notice daydreams, desires that show up, and then we take a turn. We take action on these received daydreams. And as we do, we start to build momentum. We take a picture of something that happens. We visualize who we can become, and we create a ritual around it. And as we visualize who we can become and we create a ritual around it, we've got momentum. But leadership, self-leadership takes its toll on us. It's not easy to stay at the edge of who you are. It's not easy to stay in a feedback-rich environment where you're at the edge of your abilities. But what's going to keep us growing is to notice someone's in the car with us. We were too distracted. We weren't observing, but now we are. We are observant. Someone's in the car with us. And there's something about them being in the car with us. We don't really like them. Now, let's get honest. In leadership, there are people that you're going to lead that you may not like. Or there's a quality that they have that may irritate you. You might feel a sense of internal disdain for them. You might feel even an intense experience of hatred for them. You might even externalize that. And you might say something shaming to them or shame them. I mean, this is how people become a worse version of themselves. This is how we have so much systemic and awful shaming and racism, because we have something within ourselves that's going on in this moment, and we don't know it. Now, I'm going to walk you through this so you can learn the secret. Someone's in the car with you, and as we walk through this 3-part progression, you're going to understand how to integrate new insights. Number 1, animus. Animus. The hate I feel for you is actually in me. Now, that's a bold claim. Let me process through this with you for a minute. When I have somebody that I have an intense hatred for, unless they have done something to harm someone I love, and there's a good sense of a righteous indignation where I'm protecting someone, the hate that I feel for you is actually in me. What happens is, because we feel shame, the self-righteousness where we go, well, I'm not like that. I compare myself to make myself feel better. I'm actually trying to tear them down so I can make myself feel better. I can ask you this question. Who drives you crazy? Who irritates you? Who do you hate? Because wherever you're finding yourself with an intense emotional expression towards someone else like that, someone is in the car. This reveals to you a clue and a signal about where you can go next in your own growth. This reveals to you with a big neon sign, and I'm going to show you what that looks like in a second, but it reveals to you with a big neon sign, this is what's possible. This is what is in your potential to become the kind of leader who isn't dangerous. Dangerous leaders localize the hate they feel for someone else that is really something about their struggle into creating scapegoats. They blame other people. Leaders who are suffering under shame will turn to blame. They can't accept responsibility for themselves or their growth or the process of transformation that's happening within them. So instead, they put that into somebody else. They localize that into somebody else. And look, I'm going to say all day long, it's a great starting point of growth to say, I don't want to be that. I may not know what I want to be, but I don't want to be that. What I'm talking about here is much more insidious and dangerous. It's when you try to compare yourself to others and go, well, I'm not that, so I must be this. We look at others and we tear them down and go, well, that's not who I am. That's not what I do. I'm so much better than that. And when we understand that the process of going deeper in our self-leadership journey begins with animus, this impulse within, this, we could call it the bad wolf, right? You've heard the story, the black and the white wolf. When we have this bad wolf within and we think, oh my gosh, look at what I'm not, we are missing the opportunity for growth. Here's what I mean. We're going to go deep into this. Spiritus, this is the next piece. Where you are blind, there is treasure to find. Where you're blind to your insecurity and how it's causing you to shame others, there is some treasure to find about your own growth. So the old story goes, I've got this good wolf and this bad wolf within me, and the trick is to starve the bad wolf and to feed the good wolf. Well, the problem is the bad wolf is still a part of who you are, and you don't actually get to the most advanced expression of yourself as a leader by starving that part. You might want something that you would judge and say is bad or wrong. You actually want to get to the deeper understanding. I want more power at work. It might be that there's just this expression of power that you're wrestling with that isn't so much about you getting a bigger promotion. It might also be because you don't know how within yourself to feel secure in your own power, to feel protected, that you're looking for an external way to try to get more power. So the bad wolf is like, get more power, get more power, get more power. It's not that you starve it. It's that you see the deeper reality there. You're hungry for something good. You just got to find it internally before you find it externally. It might not be power. It might be being cared for. It might be belonging. It might be capability. It might be great achievement. Here's the clue and the signal. Something that is in you, animus, that hates something in someone else. When you get the depth of this, that the hate I feel for you is actually in me, I move to spiritus and I go, there's a clue and a signal. Where I'm blind, there's a treasure to find. I need more patience for that person. How are you going to get more patience? How are you going to get cultivated within you more patience? By being in a situation that you have to exercise patience. And you can't give to them what you don't have in and of yourself. When I have something in and of myself, I can give it to others. I think it's fascinating that the concept of zero was invented. Like zero just didn't exist. Zero is, relatively speaking to human history, a new concept. Dignity is not a zero-sum game. I don't have to take from you to make myself whole. Instead, the places that I feel irritated, frustrated, hate even, wake me up to the fact that I don't have enough of that in and of myself. I'm playing a zero-sum game, and I'm thinking, I can't give you more because I don't have it within me. When you tap into an internal, abundant supply of this is not woo. This is solid transforming leadership. Love, a joy apart from circumstances, a love apart from having everybody treat you just how you want to be treated. When you can tap into it internally, when you can find peace apart from your problems, when you find patience, when you want to get really frustrated, when you find kindness, when there's every reason in the world to be a driving taskmaster and a jerk because the performance isn't what it needs to be, when you find a gentleness, when you want to be harsh and try to protect yourself, when you find a loyalty when they've been disloyal, when you find an ability to marshal your energy and direct it and be self-controlled, when you feel like all the circumstances are dissipating who you are, when you find a goodness within, even though you question all of your motives and doubt, you find a shift, a transformation that is everything you're longing for. When you find that within, and you don't have to have it in your roles or your relationships, and you can get it within yourself, then you can give it to others even when they're not giving it to you. Now, it doesn't mean you're taking advantage of it. It doesn't mean you have bad boundaries. But it does mean this. The hate I feel for you speaks to something that needs to change in me. I am being tested as a leader to give you something that I don't want to give you right now. I don't have it within myself. I can't give it to you. So animus, we wake up by seeing the disdain, the hate, the irritation, to the potential of change, spiritus, where I was blind, I now know there's treasure to find. actus. Animus spiritus actus. Move bold. Move bold into the change, into the relationship, into what's happening. Because when you do that, you're going to find you're in a place now where you can see some growth and some transformation that takes you on a journey like you've never known. It is in the challenging relationships that we start to see the expression. We all get to shine when we understand dignity is not a zero-sum game, that my identity is abundant. And here's the cool part. You're in the car, you look over, and you find someone's in the car, and I'm frustrated and irritated or angry or whatever. That other person in the car is me. That the feelings I have for them, it's actually a mirror. The person in the car is me. It's some part of me that I haven't made peace with yet, that I haven't transformed, that I haven't integrated. Every place there's a relational disturbance shows you a place you can have an integration in your own growth as a leader.